Password authentication is a newer way of getting away from passwords by using things that you may have, hardware tokens or security keys installed to a computer, biometrics, which a lot of us have been using even to unlock our phones for a while. And it's ideally there to just remove some of those security risks that come in place, especially with password reuse. Many of the security benefits behind passwordless authentication is simply that creating passwords nowadays is hard. You have a lot of requirements. Passwords need to get longer, more complex, and you're being told to use different passwords everywhere. By using a passwordless tool, such as biometrics, then you are the grantor of access to whatever that is. Now, you still want to keep that device safe, but you now are able to get into the systems that you need without having to go through all the trouble of creating and maintaining passwords. There was a article, and according to Forrester, for larger companies, it costs about $70 of IT time to create and maintain a new password. And that's with users calling in for unlocks, users having trouble even knowing what they have to do to make the password compliant. And having this is a lot less expensive tool, especially at the larger company scale. So a couple of the technological innovations that have come about with passwordless solutions is hardware keys such as YubiKey. Some of your password management tools now having pass keys that also are driven off of either hardware key or a biometric. Also, just a lot of companies are adopting the use of a one-time password where you provide your email address, the service will then send an email to that, and you are then required to pop that code or use what's sometimes known as a magic link, which only opens for that user. There's a variety of ways of doing it to take that burden of having to know and store all of your passwords. I think from the user standpoint, going passwordless can be easier. If you can touch a thumbprint, if you can use a face unlock, such as like Windows Hello, if you can just operate a small key fob to grant access, those are much easier than having to type in passwords, especially considering even with password managers, so many websites and other applications, you still can't conveniently autofill, so you have to copy, paste, or maybe even worse, still have to type out the password that you were required to make very long. Overall, people will find that passwordless tools and solutions are going to be much easier than having to button mash and worry if you remembered the special character or not. Some of the challenges a business might face while implementing passwordless solutions, there may become a bit of a cost because whether you're handing out a hardware key to every person, those can vary from $30 to $70 in some cases. If you're handing company phones now, that's a big deal. Also, a lot of businesses, the user does not want to install something to their personal phone. So that becomes a challenge there where you have to understand people's objections and then try to overcome them or find alternative ways. Also, just the fact that you're completely changing how you're doing things. People are so used to having to type in passwords, they may not remember that this little key is the thing that I need to use, and you're constantly getting calls with, oh, I left my key at home, or I left my key in the car, I got to go right back and get it. So it's just a change in how we do security, but I believe that we will get to the point where this will be well adopted and a lot of those challenges will be worked out.